Assalamu alaikum children, and welcome to another episode of Qasasul Atfal. My name is Samira and I'll be keeping you company for the next whole hour. This is our special time where we get to learn the fun way. We read stories and we watch cartoons and we learn about everything around us. Come a little closer, hold my hand. Let's go to that special place where we have so much fun. Let's learn about Islam and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's dream about Jannah and find ways to make Allah happy. Today, children, let's start off with a cartoon.
We'll be back soon.
Welcome back, children. Did you enjoy watching that cartoon? Little Zini, did you enjoy it?
Of course, I always enjoy them so much.
MashaAllah. Remember, children, why don't you send us emails and tell us what your favorite cartoons are? Tell us what you want to watch. Tell us what you want to see more of on Samira at itvnetworks.tv. Inshallah, soon we'll be reading your emails and we'll be reading them out loud, and Zini and I will have so much fun responding to them on air too. If you want to be in studio with us, you know what to do. For now, children, let's learn a little bit more about faithfulness and keeping your promise. Little Zini, do you remember we learned a lot last time? And do you remember the stories we read around being faithful?
Of course I do.
And about the little man who didn't keep his promise in the garden. About how the blind man and the crippled man ate the fruit from the garden. Do you remember that?
Yippee! I do remember that.
Well, today we have more stories for you, exciting ones, and inshallah, after you hear them, you too will always want to be faithful and always want to keep your promise. Will you do that, Zini?
Insha'Allah.
Insha'Allah. Children, this story is called The Faithful Soldier. Listen up closely, okay?
Okay.
Once, an enemy captured a soldier. The soldier suggested that they should make him go home, on condition he tried to make a pact and make peace between the two armies that were fighting. He promised that if he failed, he'd hand himself over once more. What was he going to do, Zini?
I don't know.
Well, let's see what happens. Will the man be able to bring the two armies together and make peace? Or will he have to go to jail? Let's quickly read on further. They agreed and the soldier returned to his home country. He talked with the leaders of the two armies, but he couldn't come right. His attempts to make peace didn't work. They were just in vain. Finally, he decided to try once again, but it still didn't work. So in keeping his promise, and in being faithful, he returned himself to go once again to the enemy and be jailed. He decided that even if his death was written in that jail, and even if he was not going to be allowed to be free, he was going to keep his promise because he was a good person. The people around him said, "Don't go back, they'll never find you." But he said, "No, Allah is watching and Allah knows I'm here." So what he did? He went back to his enemies. He was sent to prison. The enemy king heard the story. He was very surprised. He said, "The soldier kept his word. He was so faithful, so truthful, and so honest too. So because of this, I decide to release him." You see, Zini, he got released just because he was faithful, honest, and truthful. Would you have gone back to prison, Zini?
I'm not so sure.
It's a difficult decision to make. But remember, children, no matter how big or how small a promise is, always try and keep them. because if you keep them, Allah will be happy with you, inshallah.
Ameen.
Now let's go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll read another story.
Don't go away.
Welcome back, children. Let's read another story now about being honest, about being truthful, about being faithful, and always keeping your promise. This story is about the great ruler of Egypt. The story goes like this. There was once a great caliph appointed by Abdullah bin Tahir to the office of the ruler in Egypt. Now, do you know where Egypt is, Zinni?
No.
Well, I can tell you that if you check it on a map and if you do a little bit of research, which I know you will afterwards, you'll see it's a place of great buildings and it's the place of the pyramids too. So you must go and do some research, okay?
Okay.
Inshallah.
Ameen.
Now, indeed, he was such a great ruler. But one day a man came to him and said, Abdullah bin Tahir is betraying you. He's helping others to prepare your destruction. He wants to take over your kingdom. The man sent for his people to find out what was going on. He said, I want to tell you something, but I don't want you to hurt me. Will you promise me? And so the king said, yes. The man said what happened. Abdullah told him, how dare you say that I'm betraying anybody? I always keep my promise. I'm faithful. I'm honest. But go out of this land, go out of this country, because I'm afraid you may be killed. So the man returned to the king and told him about the loyalty of Abdullah bin Ma'mun. So the king was very pleased with his faithfulness. He gave him even more rewards and brought Abdullah even closer to him. You see, children, no matter what happens, when you give your promise to someone, you must always fulfill it. When you promise to do something, you must always do it. When you promise to say something, it must always be said. And if you promise that you're going to be there, you must always be there. Remember, no matter how big or how small a promise is, always be faithful. Because with faithfulness comes good iman. And if you have good iman, you'll be following the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
MashaAllah. And remember, if you follow the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then Allah will be happy with you. And what will He reward you with?
Whatever you want.
And the main reward?
Allah will give you Jannah.
Inshallah. But we've come to the end of another show. Don't worry, we'll be back again soon.
Yippee.
Don't forget to email us on samira@itvnetworks.tv. Until next time, fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum and bye.
Bye.
Bum,